Brothers, today, inshallah ta'ala, and my sisters, I'm here to talk to you about music. About music. And we titled the topic of this lecture today, Fire in the Booth. And yeah, we did take the name from a show that's out there. And it's interesting that they call it Fire in the Booth. The booth is the place in which you record music, barakallahu feek. It's the recording studio. In the recording studio, there's a section, a soundproof room with a microphone, and you record your music in there. They call it Fire in the Booth. When they say Fire in the Booth, they mean it's, something hype in the booth. But when they say fire in the booth, I'm saying, listen, bro, you're not lying. It is fire in the booth. But I'm talking about a different kind of fire. That's the fire of hell. And I want to mention to you 10 points, inshallah ta'ala. 10 points taken from the Qur'an and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And each point, brothers and sisters, is going to show you that music is indeed something that leads to the hellfire. And it's something that really and truly, most of you probably have on your phone right now. In one way, shape or another. Does that make sense? Might probably even listen to earlier today. Something that you can't escape is everywhere. You go into the barber shop and they're playing music. You go into a place, you're trying to buy some gums. You go into a little store, they're playing music. You go into a restaurant, try to eat some food, they're playing music. You can't escape it. I want you to understand how serious this is, because that fire of hell is calling you through this music from each and every direction that you're at. You want to get married, start a life of what piety with your wife, from it, children are going to come on that day. What do? You play music. Have to bring the DJ down. Paying what? £1,000, £1,500 to what? Call the devils. To call the evil jinn into your walima, into your barat, your rukhsat, your little wedding party. And then you wonder why the relationship doesn't last very long. Remember, when you plant a seed that's filthy, a seed that's corrupted, you can't expect for something healthy to grow from it. Every time it's your birthday, it's not even permissible to celebrate birthdays, but it's your birthday, it's a new year. You think to yourself, okay, calm, this year let me do some khair in my life. No, you don't celebrate it, but when it comes to your birthday, you think to yourself, right, just live the year. What have I done for this last year? Let me do something better next year. But how do you celebrate? You go to the club, go to a rave. You go out, family throws a little party for you. Everything you start, your new year, you start it with music. And you wonder why the next year is worse than the last. I bet right now, if I tell you, show me a raise of hands, who feels that every year they live is worse than the year before it? I think most of you, unless you found the sweetness of Iman, are going to say every year is worse. We keep indulging in these sins and moving further away from the Qur'an and Sunnah. So point number one that I want to mention to you today, why music will take you to the fire, is because music is haram. Music is haram, and anything haram take you to the fire. Anything haram that you do and you don't repent for it, it's going to take you to the fire. And what's the evidence? In Surah Luqman, and we have to start with this first, because there are people that are even going to tell you music's not even haram. They can say, bring me the evidence. No problem, bring you the evidence right here. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in Surah Luqman, He said, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. That there are people from the human beings. There are people from mankind. What do? They try to misguide people from the path of Allah. How? Through lahw al-hadith. Through lahw al-hadith. You have to understand the reason why this ayah came down. There was a man from the Quraysh. He was a kafir, mushrik, an idol worshipper. He was about to accept Islam. So when the people heard that he's about to become Muslim, he said, I'm going to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to become a Muslim. The leaders from the Quraysh said, we're going to lose one of our guys. We can't lose him. So they said, I'll tell you what we do. He's a man at the end of the day. And what's a man's weakness? Women. So we're going to line up some girls for him. Some girls. And we're going to make them sing for him. We're going to make them sing for him. And we're going to make them sing for him. His own little private show. That's what they set up for him. And he would say, look, Muhammad gives you X, Y, Z, but look what we got for you. We got you the girls, man. And they're singing and they're dancing for you. And then the man, he became misguided by that music and those girls. And refused to accept Islam. He died as a disbeliever, to be doomed into the hellfire for eternity. So then that's the reason why Allah sent this ayah down. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ. There are people from the human beings who they come with this lahw al-hadith, this corrupted speech, this senseless speech, this stupid speech. What is it? Music. What is it for? لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. The whole reason that they come with this music, what is it for? It's to divert you from the path of Allah. So you learn something powerful from this ayah right here. Brothers and sisters, music is always going to divert you from the path of Allah. I want that to go into your head one more time. For those of you who are you're trying to be on both sides of the fence. Because I had recently, some crazy guys came into Birmingham and they had a little music conference. They pretend to be like practicing people. And what did they do? They did not a conference, but they did a little show. You don't know what I'm talking about? Anyway, it happened in your city. I don't know how you let it happen. If they ever came to London, you don't need to be careful and vigilant, man. You can't be letting crazy people into your city like that, singing Allah, and then there's music playing in the background, and there's boys and girls sitting next to each other. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. These people are only going to take you away from Allah. So my brother, listen, no matter who you're listening to, I don't care if you tell me he's a political rapper, he's a conscious rapper. I don't care if you tell me, he comes with deep stuff, Music, is it music? يُضِلُّكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. It's going to divert you from the path of Allah Azza wa Jal. It's there to divert you from the path of Allah Azza wa Jal. Is that making sense? So you need to stay far away from music. Not only that, the Sahaba of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who witnessed these ayat coming down, who understood every word in them better than you and me, what did they say? They said, lahw al-hadith is music. They said, lahw al-hadith is music. Furthermore, Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu was the companion of the Prophet who said, every ayah of the Qur'an, I know where it came down, why it came down, when it came down. If I knew anyone who had more knowledge of the Qur'an than me, then I would have jumped on my riding beast and I would have gone to that person. He had the most knowledge of the Qur'an. What did he say about this verse? He said, Wallahi. He said, I swear by Allah, I swear by the one, there is no one that deserves to be worshipped except him. This ayah is talking about music. This ayah is talking about music. So what is it? وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلُّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَيَتَّخِذَهَا هُزُوًا أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. They're going to have a humiliating punishment. Where? In the hellfire. I told you, it takes you to the fire, right? So we call it fire in the booth. It is fire in the booth. It takes you to the hellfire. And it's a humiliating, tormenting punishment. And it's always take you from the path of Allah. Listen, why is it that so many brothers are doing the madness that they do? Music. We're hearing about all the killings, the shootings. We're hearing about all the teenage Muslim girls pregnant, abortions, boys getting kafir, girls pregnant, smoking drugs, drinking alcohol. Where's it coming from? Is this Allah's path? Is drugs and alcohol Allah's path? No, that's the path of music. So when you're listening to this stuff, it's getting you gassed, and you start following and walking down that path. It diverted you from His path. Does that make sense? That's the first point I wanted to mention. And that proves to me and you that music is haram. In fact, take questions at the end, please, inshallah. Barakallahu fi. There's 5 different ayat that refer to music. Some of which more I will mention to you, inshallah ta'ala. So don't ask me for more. There's over 14 hadith, or at least 14 hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are authentic, that specifically mention music. Like in a person, if one evidence is not enough for him, then 100 evidences is not going to be enough. And if 100 evidence is enough, then 1 should be enough. So I'm going to suffice myself with 1. The second thing that I want to mention, and this is for our elders in the room to pay attention to, and also our young brothers and sisters to understand what has already happened to them if they've been raised with music. And this is the hold Shaitaan has on the children, and the hold that Shaitaan has on your pockets when a person indulges in music. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَاسْتَفْزِزْ مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُ مِنْهُمْ بِصَوْتِكَ. When Allah threw Shaitaan out of hellfire, when Allah threw him out of paradise, Allah said to Shaitaan, وَاسْتَفْزِزْ مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُ. Take whoever it is that you want and do what? fool him. Fool him. Allah said to him, take whoever you want and fool them gradually. With what? Be saltic with your voice. What's the voice of Shaitaan? What's the voice of Shaitaan? Allah said, fool whoever you want to try and fool with your voice. What's the voice of Shaitaan? Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, again a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet made dua for him, say, Allahumma faqqihu fi din wa'allimhu ta'wil. Allah give him a deep understanding of the religion and teach him the interpretation of the Qur'an. The Prophet's dua is never rejected. The Prophet's dua is accepted, right? So how did he interpret this ayah? He said, the salt, the voice of Shaitaan is music. And so did his student Mujahid ibn Jabrin rahimahullah say that. And he was the greatest student of this companion. And it was said that if the tafsir, if the explanation of Mujahid comes to you, فَحَسْبُكَ بِهِ, then that should be enough for you, that should suffice you. There's nothing else that you need after that. If Mujahid explained the ayah, that's how the ayah is. Because he got it from the Prophet's student, who got it from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He even said that salt, the sound of Shaitaan, the voice of Shaitaan is music. So then you know when you put those headphones in, my brother and my sister, and you're out there listening to whoever the hell it is that you're listening to, these drill rappers. Some of you people are listening to these mad rock stars, they even call upon Shaitaan. They throw up devil signs and whatnot nowadays. You're actually making the sign of the devil. I'm not going to make it because I'm not a devil worshipper, brother. But now you've got Muslims putting up the devil sign. So you hear the devil, and next thing you know, your body starts moving towards the devil. Now you've got rappers. Rappers weren't on this Satan worshipping thing. But the point is that music is what? It is the speech of Satan. So then they're throwing up these... You know what I'm talking about, the devil sign, right? It's when they do that with this finger. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's a devil sign. So they throw that up. Who told them to throw it up? That was known for the rock stars, the rock artists. But why are they doing it? They listened to the speech of Shaitaan so much, it overtook them. So then what did Allah say after? He said, take whoever you want and try to befool them, try to mislead them, try to mash them up with your voice. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, take your horsemen. Yeah, Shaitaan's got horsemen. Take your horsemen, Shaitaan. And also, what else does he have? He's got soldiers on the ground. Back in the days, they used to have men on horses. In the army, they used to have soldiers on the ground. The cavalry's on the horse, and infantry's on the ground. Today, they got soldiers on the ground. They still call it infantry. And what do they have? They don't have horses no more. They got tanks. They got tanks. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, take your horsemen. Take your big soldiers, Shaitaan. And take your guys on the ground. Take your foot soldiers. Take your guys on the roads with you, Shaitaan. And do what? Do what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, take them. And Allah said, make assaults on them. Attack them. Attack them with your horsemen. Attack them with your jinn. Attack them with your devils. And pay attention, the shayateen, the devils are of two types. There's human jinn and there's devil jinn. There's two types of devils. There's human devils and there's jinn devils. Shaitaan is a jinn devil. Shaitaan's children and his followers are jinn devils. There's also human devils too. Shayateen and ins, we call them. So Shaitaan's army is made up of both. So when Allah Azza wa Jalla tells him, attack them if you want, try. And by the way, Allah tells us, it's not like Allah is encouraging him to attack us, by the way. Because Allah told us how to protect ourselves from him. Rather, Shaitaan himself told us that I'm going to take everyone, Allah, off the path except for those who are sincere for your sake. Except for those who are sincere for your sake. But these people here are not sincere for Allah's sake. So Shaitaan's going to attack you all day, every day. He's going to attack you with a jinn. You wonder why you get possessed. You wonder why you start seeing nightmares. You wonder why you start, even, wallah, I'm not going to lie, when the Shaykh was reciting the Qur'an, wallahi, I saw some of you twitching. Because you're hearing the Qur'an, the little jinn is moving inside of you. I actually, one of you I was looking at, I'm not going to bait it out. I was thinking, this guy's got something in him. Because when you hear the Qur'an, what happens? It affects you. If you ain't got no shaitaan in you, if you ain't got no evil jinn in you, you're relaxed. You're relaxed. But if you've got a little shaitan, you start feeling restless. You want it to end. Oh, he's going on too loud. He's raising his voice. It's too much. Does that make sense? That's because the shaitan already attacked you. These rappers that you see, they're part of Shaitan's army. These singers that you see are part of Shaitan's army. These drillers that you hear, they're part of Shaitan's army. They're part of his infantry. They're his foot soldiers on the ground. They're the ones he's sending to run around. And what did Allah Azza wa Jalla say at the end? And this is for the parents to pay attention to. Allah said, وَشَارِكْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ وَشَارِكْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ And have a partnership with them. Allah is saying Shaitan will have a partnership with you in your wealth. When you listen to music, Shaitan has a partnership with you in wealth. He also has a partnership with you in your children. Sharik means to share, to do shirk. You can't do shirk with Allah. You have to worship Him alone. You can't do shirk with Allah. You have to worship Him alone. But what do? You can do shirk with your parents though, because you've got two parents. You share your parents, right? You've got two parents, right? But there's a third parent here. وَشَارِكُمْ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ Iblis, Lucifer, Shaitan, may Allah's insistent and consistent curse be upon him, is also now a parent to you. He's also a father to you. And what kind of a father is the devil, my sisters and my brothers? He is a father that's going to destroy you. He owns you. So my fathers and mothers and uncles, soon to be fathers, soon to be mothers, fear Allah when it comes to your children. You give them TVs and you give them phones. You give them instruments through which they'll listen to music. You put on music for them. You raise them in music. Pay attention all day, every day in your house. Who do you hear? You hear your mum's voice, your dad's voice, Shaitan's voice. Why should he not be your father? He raised you all day, every day. You're listening to Shaitan. All of these musicians, all of these singers, these artists, they are all speaking Shaitan's voice. So he's your dad. He shares your money with you. Because what? You go to the shop, you buy a CD. They don't have CDs anymore. I don't even know. Well, I've been off music for so long. I don't even know how they sell music nowadays. How do they sell it? Huh? Downloads? You pay for the download? There's no LimeWire no more? You don't even know about LimeWire, you kids. 2001 use. Put your hand if you're born 2001 or after. You don't know about the 90s. What you don't know about the 90s? Nothing. The point is, Shaitan, he raises you. That's the second point I wanted to make. Shaitan is your dad. And that's a dad that will take you to the hellfire. The third point, inshallah ta'ala, which I touched on already and I want to mention it again, is that music leads to jinn possession. Listening to music leads to jinn possession. One of the names of music is Mu'adhin al-Shaitan. Mu'adhin al-Shaitan. What is a mu'adhin? What's the mu'adhin? It's the one who stands and does the adhan, right? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's the mu'adhin, right? He calls you to the salah, the prayer. Hayya ala salah. He calling you to the salah. So mu'adhin is one who calls you. One who calls you. One of the names of music is the mu'adhin of Shaitan. When you play music, brothers, what are you doing? What does it mean? Mu'adhin means it's calling. So when you put the headphones in and you listen, when you put it on your TV screen, when you play it wherever you play it, do you think it's just you listen to the music? Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's just you listen to the music? Someone is being called. Someone is being summoned. There are creatures that are being summoned into your room where you're listening. You're on a bus, you're listening. There's an announcement that just got made. Hey, come! And it's the evil jinn, the evil devils. They come running to you. They come running to you. So you're in there listening to music, just vibing to it. You don't realize there's a whole rave around you. There's a whole rave of these dirty devils around you. And they're shaking. They're probably grinding on you. And you don't even realize. I'm being serious. You think it's a joke? You think it's a joke? They're touching you. And you don't even realize. And then they wait for that moment that your iman goes low. Because your iman protects you. But they wait for that moment where your iman goes so low that there's no protection. Then bang! They jump up inside your body. And when the jinn's inside you, bro, the evil jinn's inside you, bro, you're stuck for a long time. It's no problem. We can pattern it. Lie down, read some ruqya on you. Get the qari sab to come, recite some Qur'an. Slap you on your chest. Hey, get the hell out of here. But bro, it's not going to do nothing for you if you still listen to music. If you're still watching that filth online, it's not going to do nothing for you. So the third point is that music, it leads to jinn possession. And when a shaitan possesses you, he tries to destroy your life and your hereafter as well. He'll try and make you do all sorts of madness, which will ultimately take you to the hellfire. The fourth thing is that music leads to hypocrisy. Now what is hypocrisy? I want you to understand what nifaq is. What is a munafiq? What is hypocrisy? What is it? Hypocrisy is a person who pretends to be Muslim. He pretends to be a Muslim. He pretends to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal and worship Him alone. He pretends. But in his heart he disbelieves. Now you and me might not be hypocrites completely, because then you'd be a kafir, because you're pretending to be a Muslim. There's major nifaq and there's minor nifaq. There's major hypocrisy, which is you actually you're pretending to be a Muslim. You're pretending to be a Muslim, but deep down you disbelieve. But then there's minor, which is when you have characteristics of hypocrisy. You have characteristics of this kufr. And eventually, if you don't stop it, the minor starts to increase, and then it can become major too. And then you leave the fold of Islam. So what is the minor? How does music lead to hypocrisy? We know this because of a statement of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, who's a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one I mentioned earlier, who said, every ayah, I know where it came down, when it came down, how it came down. He said, Innal ghina. He said, certainly, verily, music, yunbitun nifaqa fil qalb. It inherits and grows hypocrisy inside of the heart. Music, it inherits and it grows hypocrisy inside of the heart. So no wonder you're finding it hard to listen to the Qur'an, because hypocrisy is growing. No wonder you find it hard to read the Qur'an. Brothers, you know it's shocking that you can't even read Qur'an every day, one page. I'll be honest with you, my brothers, this is the speech of Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal, the King of Kings, the Master of the heavens and the earth, the perfect, the complete, the one, the honorable, the majestic, the merciful, the loving, Allah. He spoke from above His throne. He spoke to you and me. Qur'an is kalamullah, it's the speech, the wordings, the statements of Allah Azza wa Jal. He spoke to you, and you don't want to hear what Allah says. You don't want to listen to Qur'an every day, but you want to listen to the statement and the speech of a man. What kind of a man? The filthiest, most disgusting, despicable of creatures on the face of the planet. He's a drug dealer. He's a fornicator. Min aradhir nas. They are from the lowest people. Lowest. Back in the days, at least the musicians used to be academics. They used to be sophisticated. When a man like Beethoven used to be around. Put your hand if you heard a Beethoven symphony. Beethoven, you never heard of Beethoven? You lot do not know about the world. It's good. Wallah, if you lived in the 90s, you would have benefited a lot. The point is, Beethoven, his symphony is known because of the genius way he composed it. It's like a genius composition. I don't really understand it, because I never paid attention in music class. When they were drawing all the mad squiggly lines. I was struggling to read English. I was thinking, I'm not trying to read this music language. I need to learn English. But the point is that he composed this amazing symphony. It's still haram, don't get it twisted. But at least he was an academic. At least he was sophisticated. At least there was an art. At least there was an element of intellect that was behind him. Now, you got a guy that comes on a track and does what? He just screams and makes noises. Scrap, skiddy, that. What is he doing? What's he doing? He's making noises. And then what he gets the song that's highest on the charts. You lot are jokers. You're paying this guy. He's making money from you and he's making noises. He's insane. There was a rapper, Designer, who came out and made that song Panda. But I was shocked. This guy sounds like he's 24/7 on drugs. Then I realized he's not 24/7 on drugs. Wallah, this guy's mental, he's insane. The guy's all day, every day. Wallah, he sounds mad. He's making noises, bro. He's not even talking sentences. He's making noises on the track. And this for you guys is amazing. No wonder so many of you people are turning what? Turning stupid, bro. The Prophet said, you know what he called music? He called it Sawtul Ahmaq. The Prophet called music Sawtul Ahmaq. He called it the sound of the dim-witted one. It's stupid, bro. Music sounds stupid. It's the sound of the stupid one. And you listen to it all day, every day, you wonder why you're struggling in school. You're wondering why your grades are so low. You're wondering why simple things you can't understand. I see a brother sometimes, I think, bro, you really are not smart. What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? You have to get an A*, first class degree, but just to understand basic things. It's the drugs, bro, and the music. It's got you all confused, akhi. And these are the ones you're listening to all day, every day. These are the ones you're listening to all day, every single day. So how is it that you're not going to become like them? How is it you're not going to start to become like them? And pay attention. The point I was making was, you would rather listen to that than Allah's speech. Is that not hypocrisy? You claim to be a Muslim. A Muslim says, I love Allah, I believe in Allah, He deserves to be worshipped alone, Azza wa Jal. Yeah, that's what a Muslim believes. So you're saying, that's me, I'm a Muslim, bro. I'm out here, I'm on this Muslim. I'm a Muslim, bro. That's what I am. How do you not want to listen to Allah's speech? How is it you want to listen to a speech of a guy making sounds on a track? A guy talking about drugs. A guy talking about how many women he slept with. You want to put that before the speech and the statements of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Akhi, verily, this is an element of hypocrisy in the heart. No wonder why you struggle to pray. Allah Azza wa Jal, He said, referring to the hypocrites, He said, وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ When they come and if they stand for the prayer, قَامُوا كُسَالَى They stand, how do they stand? They stand lazy. He's there, he's thinking, when is the salah going to end? This is long. This is long. He stands lazy. Why is he even prayed in the first place? يُرَعُونَ النَّاسِ He's doing it so that people can see. He's just here to show off. Ramadan Taraweeh. Why are you coming? Just so people can see, yeah, I came for the masjid today. And what? You pray 1-2 rak'ah, you get bored, lazy, sit in the back. Bro, imagine, you're so silly, my brothers and sisters. Wallahi, you're so silly. I say this as an older brother, that's why I feel like I say things like silly and whatnot. So don't take offense. It's not that deep. You're silly. You come to the masjid. You stayed there until the imam finished witr, in the back joking with the brothers. Girls joking in the back. It's not like you were doing anything else. You were wasting your time in the back anyway. Why didn't you just stand in salah? Why? Why didn't you just stand in salah till it finished? You were there anyway. You would have walked away with a reward. But you know why you can't stand? Because you're listening to music. And hypocrisy is growing in your heart. Hypocrisy is growing in your heart. Some you left music and you still can't stand. You know why? It's because you used to listen to music and that hypocrisy is still there. So you need to fight harder to purify your heart so you can stand up for Allah Azza wa Jal. Nighttime you worry, why is it I can't pray the night prayer? Akhi, you're lazy. Because hypocrisy is growing in your heart. It makes you weak to worship Allah. And these are the characteristics of the hypocrites. Inshallah ta'ala, we're going to mention the fifth thing. That from music, it takes you to the hellfire. Which is that music leads to zina. Music leads to zina. Zina is illegal relationships between a man and a woman. And it is illegal. I don't care if Theresa May or whoever the hell is going to come after doesn't see it to be illegal. Because she don't make the laws. Allah made the laws. It's sad because you don't see this to be a criminal activity, fornication. Allah sees it to be a criminal activity. For if this was a Muslim country, you'd be lashed. You'd be lashed, number one. Number two, the lashing would happen in public so everyone can see you humiliated. This is the guy, this is the girl. The woman will be lashed in public. Sisters, pay attention. Sleeping around with your boyfriends. You'll be lashed in public. And you'll be put on show. So all the other women can see, this is going to happen to me if I sleep around with this boy. And the third thing, you'd be exiled from the land. For 1 whole year, you'd be told, go live somewhere far distant where you don't know anyone. So you get a physical punishment, you get a sociological punishment because the society is going to look at you in a certain way, and you get a psychological punishment alone for 1 year. That's what it is. It's a crime. It's a crime. And what happens in the next life? You get stripped naked and burnt inside of an oven. Burnt inside of an oven if you sleep around. Does that make sense? But why are you sleeping around? What's leading to it? Music. Music is leading to it. Fudayl ibn Iyad rahimahullah ta'ala, who was from the Salaf, an imam min a'immat al-Salaf, he said that music is ar-ruqya zina. It is the ruqya of zina. It's the incantations of zina. What you're listening to is something that's going to lead to zina. It's going to lead to fornication. Wallahi, you will see, my brothers, and you will see, my sisters, zina is something, fornication, illicit, filthy, disgusting acts, is something that you can't separate from music. Put on a music video, look at how they're dressed. Where are the music? What's the place that you go to listen to music? To have a night out and listen to music? A club where women come and dress a certain way, where the men and women, they dance, where they touch on each other. Where did the concept of the one night stand come? Did the one night stand come from work? Oh, I met her in the office, I had a one night stand? No, it happens in the club. Where you go and listen to music. Does that make sense? The songs are all about women. What he done to women. Well, I was shocked. I was shocked. There was a song back in the day by this idiot called Soulja Boy that everyone used to listen to. And I was shocked when I found out what the song meant. And you don't even realize what the track is talking about. I don't even know if I should say it in front of you people, but the levels of disgust and filth that they're talking about in these songs, you'll be shocked. Is that what he means? And you don't even understand. And you sisters are dancing to it in your house. The things that they're talking about women, and you're dancing to it in your bedroom. You're dancing to it in the club. And the song is degrading you. He's talking about, I'm going to do this to the woman, that to the woman. Saying it directly, indirectly. And you're dancing to it. And you're there listening to it. And you're wondering why you don't respect women. You're wondering why. It is something that leads to zina. I want to mention a statement by Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. And this statement really shocked me. Look what he said. He said, how many women were righteous? How many women were righteous and good? And then they became prostitutes due to music. They became prostitutes due to music. And wallah, it's true. Look at the women today. Look at these women. What's a prostitute? A woman who makes money from sleeping around with men. Right? So then, pay attention. As I told you, you don't need to know the 90s because the 90s has a lot of history. You know this filth, this absolute filth that you see nowadays, the women dressing how they dress in the songs, talking about filthy acts, and you don't think it's normal, but there was a time it wasn't. There was a time that it wasn't. The guy who started this, and may Allah Azza wa Jal deal with him the way he deserves to be dealt with, was a man called Notorious B.I.G. Notorious B.I.G., him and P. Diddy, they joined up and he had a record label called, was it called Bad Boy what? Records, right? Or Bad Boy Entertainment, something like that. And he found a young 16-year-old girl, 17-year-old girl from the Bronx or Brooklyn in New York. Her name was Kimberly. They called her Little Kim. You heard of her before? Little Kim. She was the first rapper who came out and started to be very filthy in her speech, and she started to be very illicit in how she dressed. She was the first rapper who started to rap about these things, because before her, even though all music is haram, they used to talk about politics and rap. They used to talk about the struggles. Hip-hop started to talk about, the struggles of the African-American community. So from the angle they were coming from, they had some kind of a cause. But like in this guy now, Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., he wanted to make money. And he realized something, and this is where it came from. Forgive me, I really don't want to say this statement, but I'm saying it because they coined it. Sex sells. Have you heard of this? They say sex sells. They started that. They coined that statement through Little Kim. And they had her dressing filthy. And from that point onwards, she blew up. Because everyone's like, what? All the men were like, who's this girl? She's coming out dressed mad on these videos. She's talking mad. It was turning the guys on. So she was using her sex appeal to make money. The more she shows them what they want to see, the more they buy her CDs and cassettes. So what is she? She's a prostitute. She's a prostitute. She's using sex to make money. She's using zina to make money. And then from that, all these other girls came out and they said, what? They said, this is how we need to make it big. This is how we need to make it big. Until each one kept coming worse and worse and worse and worse. And now you've got the likes of Miley Cyrus. Now you've got the likes of the Kardashians. They took it a step further. You know what they did? I'm trying to show you what's going on in the industry so you understand what's taking place. Because Shaitaan knows all of this. So he's directing it down a certain path. Kim Kardashian is a woman. Where did she become famous from? She became famous from an SEX tape. I don't feel comfortable saying the word. Wallahi, I don't feel comfortable saying it. But that's what she became famous from. She became famous from a tape, a video of her doing zina with a other musician. So has she got any skills? Has she got anything about her? Has she got any business? What has she done? She's just a woman. She had a tape of her sleeping with a man that went viral. And suddenly she became who? One of the most famous, if not the most famous woman in the entire world. To the point where in Palestine, we're here crying about Palestine. My brothers and sisters, we're here crying about Palestine in the West Bank. They're graffitiing Kim Kardashian on the walls. That's how deep it's got, and they're oppressed. But they got Masjid al-Aqsa, even trapped from it. But they got time to spray Kim Kardashian on walls. Go to the Middle East and you see every woman, she thinks she's Kim Kardashian. They try to contour their face in the way that Kim Kardashian and her sisters and whatnot they do. So where did she become famous from, my brothers and sisters? From a tape about intimacy. And then every now she becomes a bit quiet. She loses fame. What does she do? She releases a couple of dirty pictures. So she get famous again. So what is she? She's not a prostitute. She's a prostitute. Am I lying? Am I lying? Is she a prostitute? But then what kind of message does that send to all of our girls? You want to be famous? What do you do? What do? You want to be famous? You want to make money? You want to make money? Sell yourself. And don't get twisted when I tell you that our Muslim sisters are already walking down that path. You think they don't know what they're doing when they're putting on makeup and walking down the street? You think they don't know what they're doing when they're making that hijab slightly convertible, a little bit of hair sticking out? Why the hell are you doing that, sister? Allah told you to cover your beauty. And I'm not here judging anyone. I know there's people that have come because they want to make change. But I'm trying to make you understand what's taking place. Because you might not even know necessarily what's taking place, but I want you to understand what you've been caught up inside of. When you see these hijabi YouTubers online, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Why is it that they make makeup tutorials? Why? Why? Because they know that their beauty is going to get them views. Why is it that they're hijabis but they wear these tight clothes? Why? Because they know that the ones who wear the tight clothes, they get more views than the ones who don't wear tight clothes. Now, what has this got to do with being a prostitute? The Prophet ﷺ said that a woman who goes out there with perfume on, she puts on perfume so that men can smell it. Hey, listen, you got sisters. Put your hand if you got sisters. You need to be paying attention to my brothers. You need to be paying attention then. You need to be paying attention to what's going on. Because you don't want to be a youth. You don't want to be a man who doesn't care how his women go out there. Because that person, Allah's going to punish him severely on the Day of Judgment. You see, when a woman puts on perfume with the intention of going outside to please the men, the Prophet ﷺ said that woman is a zaniya. That woman is a fornicatress. She's a woman who wants to sleep around with men. It's true, she's not sleeping with them right now, but why does she put the perfume on? Because she wants the man to pick up her number, take her, wine her, dine her. Obviously, non-alcoholic wine if it exists. I don't know if it exists, but she wants that. To me, she didn't even want non-alcoholic wine. She wants the wine. And she wants what? She wants him to then sleep with her. So if a woman goes out there wearing perfume, my brothers and sisters, and she's doing it to please the men or to attract the men, and that woman, the Prophet says she's a fornicatress, then what about the one who wears makeup? What attracts the men more, perfume or makeup? Because a woman might walk past you smelling nice, and you think, oh my days, let me look back. You shouldn't look back, but they say you look back. But you know, I would be like, you know what? I'm not attracted to her. So you're going to keep moving, right? The smell's only going to take you so far. But you look back at her, and she could be unattracted to you. What does she do? She puts that makeup on her face, and suddenly she looks like, what? Oh my days. And that brings you in. So then now what about the women who make a living off makeup tutorials? What about the women who make a living off fashion? Showing their bodies, putting it out there, taking pictures of themselves, selfies of themselves. Where is this all coming from? To the point where now we've got hijabi on Playboy. Playboy, do you have any idea what the hell Playboy is? Of course you know what Playboy is. And a hijabi girl goes and poses on Playboy. And furthermore, Muslim men and women defend her. And where is it all coming from? It's coming from music. Coming from these artists. You see a woman, she become famous because SEX sells. You think, I can do the same. Whether you're doing music or not, but you took it from there. So that was the fifth point, that zina, fornication, it comes as a result of ruqya. And not just that, by the way, homosexuality, which is an extreme form of fornication, it also comes from music. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala said, anywhere where you see music spreads, you'll see zina, fornication, and homosexuality spreading. Now look at these artists, man, wearing these tight clothes, the way that they dress, doing all of the mad things that they do. Look at them, where is it all coming from, bro? Now you've got artists that wear dresses. Have you seen it? You've got gangster artists that wear dresses. That famous show, The Wire, the lead character's what? The lead gangster's what? He's gay. So you're watching the show thinking, this guy's sick. Because they made this character to be like some sick guy. But you're like, should I like him? Because he's gay. He's gay, he's got a boyfriend. In the show, he's got a boyfriend. But he's out there, he's smirking, man. He's holding down the ends. So you're thinking, this guy's sick, but he's gay. Bro, do you understand what they're doing to you? Do you understand what the hell they're doing to you? They're making homosexuality easy for you. You got a rapper, a gangster rapper. He's got hair that's rainbow. He's got rainbow hair, he's got rainbow teeth. Now, let me ask you a question. What is a rainbow? What color is a rainbow? Is that not the LGBTQ, XYZ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P? Every day they're adding letters. 1, 2, 3. It's algebra for them. These men are playing algebra with you. I said, is that not their color? The gay flag. And he's got his hair in that color. And you don't realize what he's doing to you. It's turning you, what? Gay. Be honest with you. It's leading you down that path and you're not even realizing. It's making you feminine. The sixth point about music is that you'll be punished in this life. Well, I've got a lot of points, man, but to be honest, I'm not going to be able to go through them all. I'm just going to mention this last point. That music will cause you to be punished in this life. The Prophet ﷺ said, لَيَكُونَنَّ مِنْ أُمَّتِي أَقْوَامٌ يَسْتَحِلُّونَ الْحِرَ وَالْحَرِيرَ وَالْخَمْرَ وَالْمَعَازِفِ. The Prophet ﷺ said, and the hadith is in Al-Bukhari, that from my ummah there are going to be a group of people, from my ummah there are going to be a group of people, and they're going to make 4 things halal. Which means that they're haram. Who made it halal? The people. From them, the Prophet ﷺ said is men wearing silk, music, zina, sleeping around with each other, and alcohol. Khamr. Khamr is not just alcohol, by the way, it's even drugs. Khamr is kullu muskirin haram. The Prophet ﷺ said every single intoxicant is haram. So anything that gets you high, gets you drunk, changes your senses, this is an intoxicant, my brothers and sisters. So the Prophet ﷺ said that they're going to make these 4 things halal. They're going to make drugs halal, alcohol halal, music halal, men wearing silk. And why are men not allowed to wear silk? Because it's feminine. Silk is feminine. It's not a manly thing to do. Slightly, head in that direction. And then the fourth thing is zina, sleeping around. Men and women sleeping around. They're going to make this halal. We've already seen men make silk halal for themselves. We've already seen drugs halal. People tell you, listen, bro, what do you mean, bro? It just comes out of the earth, bro. It's a plant, bro. Plant's haram. I'm telling you, plant's haram. The way I take the weed plant out of the ground, it's like what? Can I not take an apple off the tree? But what's the difference between apple and weed? That's how they play with your head. And they make you think it's permissible. And we've also seen people say music is halal. Rather, people actually went as far as to say halal hip-hop. But we heard these Deen Squad jokers say halal hip-hop. They actually took hip-hop, they said it's halal. What is this, brothers and sisters? This is dangerous. Because it's directly falling into the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's directly falling into the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we haven't heard people say zina is halal yet, but we're seeing it. Because remember the Prophet said any woman who wears perfume, or for the men, she's a fornicatress, right? So that's a part of zina. So we already heard them say, there's nothing wrong with women not wearing hijab, there's nothing wrong with women wearing makeup, there's nothing wrong with boyfriend and girlfriend, we're just friends out here. They already said that, and that's a portion of zina. They already said that's halal. It's not long till they tell you when a man and woman actually do the evil act together, they tell you, you know what? Bruv, it's a human activity. It's just humans, bro. It's just how humans are. It's not long till you hear that as well. It's not long till you hear that as well, my brothers and sisters. So anyway, the Prophet ﷺ, he's talking about these people. Now what's going to happen to these people? How is Allah going to punish them? The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to take a mountain and throw it over them and destroy them. And not just that, Allah is going to transform them. Allah is going to deform them. Allah is going to mutate them into qiradatan wal khanazir. Allah is going to turn them into monkeys and pigs. Allah is going to convert them into monkeys and pigs. Now brothers, pay attention. This is a literal transformation. They are literally going to be transformed. They are literally going to be converted into monkeys and pigs. And we can already see that transformation taking place in front of our very own eyes. Look at how they wear their trousers low, with their butts hanging out. Is that not exactly like the baboon? Is that not exactly like the monkey? Have you seen a baboon with his butt sticking out? And they're wearing their trousers low. Furthermore, that thing, it came from jail. The guys who didn't mind taking out the back used to wear the trousers low, to let the other man know, listen, you don't have to rape me, I'm ready. And they're out there on the streets, moving like they're real men. You're not men. You see the way these rappers throw their hands in the air, jumping around, on the table, off the table, flapping his hands around like a headless chicken. Where's this coming from? He's starting to move like an animal. Why do you think that they're killing each other on the streets? When an animal kills, is it wrong? Is it a crime? When the lioness hunts down the gazelle, is that a crime? Is she sinful? I'm asking you a question. Is it a crime when a hawk, when an eagle soars down and it grabs the fish and it kills it to eat? Is that a crime? But is it a crime when a human does it? Yeah, it is. For us, it's spilling blood. For them, it's a circle of life. But nowadays, you're out there, you're spilling blood, killing, running up on man, shanking man, spilling their blood. Where is it coming from? You're becoming animals. You're being deformed. Is it a crime? When a lion comes, he sleeps with one lioness and then he goes and sleeps with another lioness. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? When they copulate like that, is that a crime? That's not a crime. It's the animal kingdom. But are we animals? So a man goes, he's got a little girlfriend. He says to her, listen, you're the wife. She's just sitting on the side. And he goes and sleeps with her. And he goes and sleeps with her. And he goes and sleeps with her. He's married, he's sleeping around. Sleeping around. Watching pornography. He's enjoying people doing it. Not realizing that in that, forget the woman, he's looking at another man naked. What the hell's wrong with you? You're looking at another man naked. You're seeing another man's thing, and it doesn't mean nothing to you. You see how it's affecting you? Animalistic behavior. And wallahi, another point I wanted to mention, and I'll just bring it in here, is that you have to understand the Prophet ﷺ said, "Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi, falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil." A man is upon the religion of his best friend, so be careful who you make friends with. A man is in the religion of his best friend, so be careful who you make friends with. Bruv, some of you are listening to these rappers and these artists more than you listen to your best friend. So all day, every day you're hearing shank man, kill man, poke man, drill man, run up a man, sleep with this girl, slap her in the face, sleep with another girl, sleep with her best friend, sleep with her mum, sleep with her daughter. All day you're hearing this. You're being influenced by them more than your boys in the streets. They've affected you more than anyone else. That's why you're so finished right now. So I'm begging you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my brothers and sisters, please, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, today, delete that music off your phone. Today, because I promise if you leave, you're not going to delete it. You're not going to delete it. It's going to take you to the hellfire, man. It's not a joke. Half the problems in your life are going to disappear when you take music out. Half of it is going to go when you take music out. But you're not listening. And to the parents here, I ask you to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in regards to how you raise your children, because you'll be questioned on the day of judgment by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how you raise them. Don't give them no TVs. Don't give your children no phones. Don't give your children access to these things. You have no idea what your kids are doing. Wallahi, I thought to do a series called What Your Daughters Are Up To. Because I got so if I show you the emails I got, you'd be shocked. I thought about doing a series called What Your Daughters Are Really Up To. Wallahi, I'll be honest with you, it's going to upset a lot of people, man. The thing that makes me sick as a parent who can't discipline his child. As an auntie used to come to me, say, my daughter, this, that and the other. My daughter, she wants to go clubbing. My daughter's this, that. She's, hanging around with men, blah, blah, blah. And you know what the mum does? The mum's the bloody problem. She drives the daughter to the club, and then the father picks her back at 4 a.m. and drives her back home. I said, auntie, what the hell are you doing? She said, no, she's safe because I'm dropping her and my husband's picking her up. I'm like, how the hell are you letting her go to the club? She said she's going to leave the house. Let her leave. Well, how far is she going to go? Not long till she comes crying, running back. But you're out there. Wallahi. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, brothers and sisters. So that video that you just saw right now, that video was from our Matting in the Masjid project. This is a project that alhamdulillah has been running for a while now. Most importantly with the permission of Allah, and then of course with the donations that you guys have generously been giving from your own pockets. We've been doing tours up and down the country. We've been doing classes around London. We've been doing mentoring, events, so on and so forth. And the videos are there for everyone to see. Alhamdulillah, we're very clear with how this money is spent, where people, mashallah, have been swarming the masjid, alhamdulillah. Now, in order for us to continue these events and classes and so on and so forth, we do need to continue with the fundraising. That's why we're asking you to help us out. If we can raise the remainder of the funds that we need to raise within the next 2 weeks, that will sort us out very nicely to the end of the summer, inshallah ta'ala. Just to give you a little example of how effective, with the permission of Allah, this program is, just at the last event, one of the brothers came into the masjid with drugs. He had drugs on him in his bag. And after the talk and after the event, came up to Brother Imran, he came up to one of the speakers and said to them, I've been drug dealing for a while. I've got drugs on me. What do I do with them? I really want to change. He ended up throwing the drugs away. And that's just one person. That's just one example. That's just one story. And there's so many more out there. So please, brothers and sisters, donate generously and help us, help the youth, and in turn, help you. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.